Fala aí galera, tudo bem? Começando mais uma nova partida aqui, ó. Hellblade. Vamos continuar de onde nós paramos. E bora lá. Beleza, galera? É nóis. Iniciar, tenho certeza que esse desejo de iniciar um jogo. Hã? Continuar. Desde mais. Se eu fosse iniciar, já ia fazer. Né, já antes de começar o jogo. Bora.
It's already disappeared. Nothing lives. He's gone. You were too slow. How could you keep going? How could you keep going? Ignore the pain. I told you it was to trick you. I told you. Where are you going? See, there's nothing to follow. Come on.
Ó, alguém lá na frente.
There it is. You're imagining things. It is you. It's Dilly.
Não é ele, tem que direcionar ele.
Run. Come on before he disappears. Go, go, go. Ow.
Não, ok, pra ver o que é.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not
Muita
like the
dificuldade,
others.
mas desceu. Você conseguiu.
Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and
E
herbs.
eu também tô jogando aqui, cara, e
Out in the opening plains.
não joguei ele. Eu tô
That
descobrindo
was her
a
world.
cada vídeo que eu
Like
vou
this one.
fazendo, eu vou descobrindo, tá ligado?
Barren and
Cada
lonely.
vídeo que eu vou fazendo, eu vou descobrindo porque eu não sei o que pode dar com. Eu não sei passar das fases, eu não sei nada, tá ligado? Eu vou descobrindo de acordo com cada vídeo que eu vou fazendo. Então é a primeira vez que eu tô jogando, então eu vou descobrindo a cada um. Então pra mim também é tudo novo, tá ligado? Tem hora que eu me perco aqui que eu não sei pra onde ir. Aí tem que parar um pouco. Ó, deixa as ilusões.
The lone figure of a boy.
He's there, under the tree.
Soul play
Deixa
under the
as
shade of a
ilusões.
tree.
Come on, you have to.
She remembers the first time she saw Billy.
Nossa, olha as ilusões
To
começou.
her young eyes, he moved as if dancing,
Ah, só foi ali e parou.
and the world danced with him.
Só foi aqui mesmo e
The
parou.
gloom
A ilusão só foi ali e parou mesmo.
And for the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
Where is he? He's there. Where is he? He's there, under the tree.
Lá embaixo da árvore.
You can see him.
Ele está lá embaixo da árvore.
Dillian, go wait.
Opa,
You keep going.
toda hora muda o cenário. Essas vozes, cara, é muita loucura, velho. Essas vozes que ficam me perturbando a cabeça, cara, é muito massa, velho. Vamos abrir. Não brilhou, então acho que eu tenho alguma coisa a mais para fazer aqui. Ó, uma lagadinha. Túnel ali embaixo, ele não brilhou. Eu tenho que fazer primeiro alguma coisa lá embaixo para ele brilhar aqui em cima.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Sigurd, wants it, but Sigmund refuses it. So King Sigurd plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Sigurd captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
Ah, tá, que não é. Eu creio eu que é ali mesmo que eu tinha que ir mesmo, né? Ativar ali o camaradazinho pra mim ir lá para aquilo lá ativar. Vou ficar me confirmando. Não vou lá não, só vou voltar para me ver se vai confirmar lá mesmo que abriu. Aí eu vou ter que fazer uma estrutura aí tudo, né? E tá bem esse jogo. Vamos ver se ele brilha. Eu vim por aqui, ó. Fogo já tá aqui também, será? Não brilhou. Não brilhou, então não vai ser aqui. Vou ter que fazer algo. Tem que fazer algo lá onde que eu... Aquela parte lá. Fazer algo assim. Vai chegar nessa parte aqui, ela dá uma travada. Então vou ter que vir aqui mesmo. Sei que lá passa, mas vou passar por aqui também. Pra mim ver.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree that night, a she comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She
Eu vim por aí, ó. Sem querer eu encurtei o caminho.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
It's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. It's real. You want to believe it's real.
Eita, loucura. Que massa.
Where are you going?
Caramba, que legal.
What is she following? You can't even fight. It's just
Ai, já
deception.
tem cara
How
aí,
does he so
igual,
effortlessly caught the world in bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew.
Ah, só tem que seguir reto, então.
And dance with it, just like he does.
Caralho, que massa. Mas não dá pra me ler, porque se eu for ler e prestar atenção no jogo, é difícil. Caraca, é muito real, velho.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
Nunca vi você antes.
I'm not. I don't leave home much.
Eu não saio muito de casa.
Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Velho,
Wait,
preciso ir. Espero que o
Who
senhor
told you to
voltar
fight
desse
like that?
jeito.
No one.
no
Hmm.
one.
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
Uhum.
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior
Isso
trials.
me dilam aqui.
Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who's supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part
Nossa, velho.
of who you are. But her world
E
changed the day
essas vozes
things
que a
went
gente
to
vê
wrong.
que é o que tá dentro da cabeça dela, cara. O legal é
Senua
isso,
knows
é
that there's
tipo,
no going back to how
o que está
things were.
acontecendo aqui, essas vozes, essas coisas, é tipo o que
That there's
passa dentro
nothing
da
to go
cabeça
back
dela.
to at all.
Esse
Stay still, stay
conflito
quiet,
dentro da
hide
cabeça
and
dela.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use
Olha,
this
os
power
dois
to
podem
destroy
ver
you.
sua mente.
Stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here.
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone.
You will die here,
No.
and all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Dillian? Is that you?
Não, é você. Eu vou encontrar você, meu amor. Prometo.
I'll find you, my love. I promise.
Prometo. Caramba, viu, velho? O facial dela.
Can you see him? You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is he
Deixa eu ver ele pra tirar
all
lá.
alone in these mountains? Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here. You
O
won't
facial dele,
survive.
tá ligado? Dela, né?
You met him by the tree.
É muito legal, velho.
Maybe
Muito
it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you? He's waiting for you by the tree.
Fisionomias dela que ela faz. passei, não vi.
Take it. A sword.
Pega a espada.
Left for you. Take it. Take it.
A vida que são essas coisas.
She started something.
What's happening?
Senua, imagine a sword that can slay gods.
Doido.
Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the tree of death
Tô aqui lendo.
will take you to new lands
Tô
where
lendo
you
aqui.
face the trials.
Go to the shop.
Eu tava lendo, gente.
The metal runestones. It's in front of you.
Opa.
Find it. The
Porra,
metal.
perdi alguma coisa.
You need that sword. Go to the shop. Find the shards.
Não é pra pegar agora a espada. Espada agora não é pra se pegar, então tem alguma coisa aqui. Aqui naquele totem ali.
Find it.
O
There it
fragmento
is.
está
Focus. There's the shard.
em
Focus.
algum lugar.
Use your
Foco.
eyes. Look. Get closer. What can you see? Go to it. It's not safe. Don't go near it. Move closer. Go. Come on. What can you see? It's in your mind. You can see.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the
Quero
Northmen
te contar uma
called
história sobre
Baldur,
Deus, homem
the
nosso.
second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good, and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
Essa é a história? Falar que ele foi um homem sábio e ele morreu? Opa! Caraca, ele fez o rolo tá cabuloso. Devia ir pra um lugar que eu não sei. Uma ponte aqui. Vou logo pegar isso aqui, eu quero dar uma olhada aqui, né?
What is it? What does it see?
Então, ó.
You want to see what the mask sees? No, she doesn't. Don't
Loucura,
look through
mano.
it. Curious. Where are we? What is this? It's the same. It's another world.
Tipo, eu tô sendo surpreendido a cada jogada porque eu não sei
I
mesmo.
like it here.
Tipo, eu tô jogando.
Can we stay?
Eu tô
Rich. It's not broken. It's fixed. What happened?
Eu tô toda hora eu tô sendo surpreendido pelo fato que eu também não sei. Eu tô jogando pela primeira vez e eu não sei tudo que tá acontecendo, tá vendo? Pra mim tudo é novidade também.
The Northmen tell this story about the
Pra
death
mim
of
tudo é
Baldur.
novidade também, porque eu
It
tô jogando a
begins
primeira
with
vez.
dark dreams. Night after night, Baldur dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Baldur's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Baldur's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Tá desbravada aqui. Primeiro vamos saber para onde que eu vou. Isso. Vamos passar no outro lado também. Uma ponte imensa para aquele lugar. Vai ser um pouco complicado, hein? Aqui vai ser extremamente complicado. Filtrar para ir para lá.
Go through it. It's
Dangerous.
dangerous. Follow it.
Okay.
What's behind the gate? Where will it take you? It's not safe. Your hands. You are guilty. Was it worth it? Dillion, there he is. There he is. What are you waiting for? Quick, find a way. Find him. Go through. Dillion, don't lose him.
A gente precisa já tá.
Too
Com
many
todo
times.
esse bagulho aí por aqui, ó.
Dillion, there he is. Quick.
Ele vai tirar
Where is
todas
he?
as ilusões.
We're in the wrong world. He's not here. She's in the wrong world. He's not in this world. He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark
Ele vai
world.
tirar todas as ilusões
The
desse.
dark world.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Baldur's mother, is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe? I did not ask the mistletoe, Baldur's mother confesses. I thought it was too young.
Not in this.
Oh dear.
You can't.
Ele tá perto, né? O bichinho tá por aqui, por perto, ó. Isso não, né?
Do you remember the way he looked?
Aqui dentro.
Do you remember how he made you feel?
Aqui por dentro. Aqui.
Dillion saved you. Dillion cared for her like no one else has.
Dillion's the only reason she's still alive.
Uma dessas janelas, será?
Do you remember meeting him beneath the tree? Do you remember him whispering in your ear? He saw that she was strong.
Ih, cara. Aonde eu não...
Do you remember the way he stroked your hair? Do you remember the way he felt?
Ih, será? Caralho, que essa sombra, cara.
Do you even remember? His love is guiding you.
Só não é assim. Aqui, já. Aqui tem aquela sombra ali, viu? Não tem ninguém. É essa sombra aqui, ó.
Senua, you've got it. Do you remember what it was to touch him? He's gone. He's in the dark world.
Isso,
He's
hein,
gone
velho?
to the dark world. You're in the wrong world. He's in the other world. The dark world. Without
Isso
you.
pra caramba. Não fala aqui, não. Vai, não passou?
Do you remember the smell of his neck?
Só. Olha aqui, mas eu sei que é aquela parada ali. Não abre.
He's the reason she's alive at
A
all.
televisão.
What does it feel like to be in love?
Não é.
Do you even remember? His love is guiding you.
Não vai. Eita, agora começou. Eu sei que vai ter que ir ali naquele. Ali naquele cabocinho ali, ó. Pelo jeito eles já fazem tudo, esse bagulho aqui, ó. Ilusões, sair das ilusões, entrar nas ilusões.
Look what happens to the things I love.
É, realmente aqui ele não entra. Vou ali eu acredito mais na ilusão.
You broke it. You killed him. You couldn't see the darkness within you.
E eu estou perdido. Literalmente perdido. Porque aqui não entra. Ó, aqui não entra. Pá.
He was the only one that didn't mind the curse.
Lá em cima. Lá em cima também não entra. Que é pra ser aqui. Pelo jeito é aqui.
He was kind to her.
Agora, como... É, aqui tem que subir. Ó, aqui tem que subir. Ah, dá um difícil não tem.
Dillian's in the tower. He's there.
Ah, isso aqui agora, viu?
He didn't believe that she was cursed.
He saved you when everyone else turned their backs.
Vai veterinando aí mesmo. E ela não abre. Passa aquela ilusão ali para abrir aqui. Será que faça a ilusão para aqui? Não, mas eu já fiz a ilusão para abrir aqui, ó. Vamos tentar de novo. Eu já fiz a ilusão para tentar abrir ali. Aí, ó. A única opção que ele me dá é essa, ó, de vir. Não é? De sair lá, vir aqui. Fazer a ilusão. Ó.
Bridge. You've come this far.
The
bridge is broken. There's no way you can fix it. What do you do now, Senua?
Não me deu a oportunidade de passar ainda. Caraca, velho.
Curse. The darkness is swallowing you both. Believe in you.
Não passa. Ele já
Nobody will love her
tirou a
now. Can you
ilusão.
remember what love feels like? Look what happens to the thing she loves. She destroys the thing she loves.
Caraca, bicho. Como é que eu faço isso aqui, velho?
Dillian doesn't know who killed him, but we do.
Caraca, tem alguma coisa que eu tô passando batido, velho. Não tô vendo.
He saw that she was strong.
Caramba, velho. O que será que eu tô passando batido e não estou vendo?
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Balder, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Balder's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Balder's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
He was the only one she could trust. Could she trust him?
Caraca, mano, que difícil, velho. Tem algo aqui que eu tô passando batido e eu não tô sabendo. O que será que eu tô passando
He
batido?
cared in a way that nobody else did.
O que será que eu tô passando? Isso aí não tá abrindo, cara. Precisa liberar aquela porta lá. E como libera aquela porta? Ah, esse aqui não abre. Ó. Tá, não abre. Lá, mesmo se eu
He was the
focar...
only one that really loved her. He did love her.
Também. Olha aqui, ó.
He was the only one that really loved her. He did love her.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Balder's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
He was the only one she could trust. Could she trust him?
Coisa que existe. Tem alguma coisa que eu não sei o que posso ser. Nossa, cara.
Do you remember the way he stroked your hair?
Essa ela
Do you remember the way he felt?
Porra, meu irmão. Vou ficar travado aqui nessa parada.
Do you remember meeting him beneath the tree? Dillion undoes the curse. What does it feel like to feel a love so strong?
Vamos voltar mais uma vez. Caraca, perdido, viu? Tô perdido. Nossa, tá seleção. Fazer, velho. Eu vim aqui aquela hora, ela não tava abrindo essa porta.
You kill the things that are most precious to you.
Ah, mentira, velho.
He's up there. There's a way. There is a way up there. Find the way. She can do it. You're nearly there. She'd find the way. Listen to your father when you had the chance. Why didn't you listen to him? His love has tortured you, and it tortures them.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taken by. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies,
Just like it's troubled him.
Fila da mãe de ilusão.
Do you know? Was it worth it? You're still alive and Dillion's dead. He doesn't deserve to be dead.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
You had that loved you. You squashed it, strangled it, flattened it.
The curse cannot leave.
These fruits mean nothing. It's all part of their game.
They've set you trials to distract you.
They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you fall.
What if these trials mean nothing?
It's laughing at you. They led you astray.
They take you. You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Letting this get his life.
What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle?
Foi, né? Vou ver. Olha lá, já nesse aqui, ó. Cara.
Do you remember what love feels like?
Por trás. É o contrário. Fica ali, ó, mas a sombra, sei lá. Ah, desce.
Do you remember him whispering in your ear?
Ó, acerta, no chão. Acerta tá aí, ó.
He saved you. He saved you. Loves you. You owe him. His love keeps you strong.
E da viagem, mano, esse jogo. Ó, fica aqui, ó. Ele tá me dando a ilusão aqui, ó.
Remember Dillian?
What do you remember?
Do you remember the sound of his voice?
Ilusão aqui, ó lá, ó.
What if they're all about
A
wasting your
outra é
time just
lá em
delaying? Do
cima,
you
então
remember
será que eu tenho que sair?
what it wants us to touch?
Como que eu vou sair?
I think she's doing. You're special. She feels she to be in love.
They mean nothing.
Being
Eu
special.
vou sair nesse aqui pra me ver aqui lá.
A waste of her time.
The gods are just
Não, desligar nesse aqui.
What if the gods are laughing at her?
Does it messing with her?
It wouldn't be.
Be the first time.
Isso aqui. Aí eu tenho que...
He was the only one that didn't mind the curse.
He loved her so much.
O jogo aqui é complicado, cara. Você tem que... É os mínimos detalhes que pega você. Se você passar batido nos mínimos detalhes, você perde o jogo todinho. Ó, que não abre. Vendo ali, ó. Pra completar a letra. Ela tá ao contrário ali, assim.
Do you think she remembers him?
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
She should have listened. Why didn't she listen to me? She thought she could define it.
Eu vi. Mas não tem como eu passar. Pra lá.
You broke him. You killed him. He couldn't see the darkness within you. He cared in a way that nobody else did.
Sempre tem uma solução, é só prestar atenção. E aqui, não é? Por baixo não passa. Passa lá em cima.
Dillian undoes the curse. What does it feel like to feel a love so strong? He's the reason she keeps fighting. Dillian's in the tower. He's there.
Não vai, cara. Não.
He's the reason she's alive at all.
Como que eu vou encontrar?
What does it feel like to be in love?
Vão estar aqui, ó.
He was kind to her.
Vão estar aí.
Do you remember what it was to touch him?
Passar aqui não vai deixar passar. Olha lá. Aqui, ali.
He was the only one that really loved her. He did love her.
does the curse?
What does it feel like to feel a love so strong?
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband.
Eu vou passar pra ali
Pyre is
agora
lit,
como que eu vou
sending the dead to hell.
continuar, só por dentro,
But
ó.
even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
Ao contrário. Isso, hein, cara?
Does it feel warm? Do you feel safe?
Dillian loves
Tá
you.
pensando alguma coisa que eu tô passando batido.
He was the only one she could trust. Could she trust him?
Isso aqui também, viu? Como eu vou saber agora? Como passar por ali?
He was the only one that didn't mind the curse. He loved her so much. You have loved her. You are guilty. Was it worth it?
Que jogo mais safado, velho.
Can you remember what love feels like? What happens to the thing she loves? She destroys the thing she loves.
Cara, que jogo mais complicado, mano. Pronto.
Dillian saved her. You owe your life to Dillian. You owe everything to him.
Caraca, mano, que jogo complicadíssimo, velho. Por detalhes, cara.
What if this is pointless?
Detalhes, cara. Detalhes.
Why did you think you could make this work? You keep seeing
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says, Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Baldur stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Baldur, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Baldur was never my friend, she says. Let hell keep what she has.
Caraca, isso, viu? Muito difícil, né? Preciso prestar atenção no jogo.
Look what happens to the things you love.
Dillion!
Yes.
Dillion never much cared for the underworld and looked dimly upon the druids like her father, Zinbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillion's arms, and to see the world through his eyes. Slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
It's a narrow bridge, and there's a long way to fall.
Legal, né? Pode eu cair?
No! Where's he gone? It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to the... He's gone to the water. He's drowned.
Senua. Your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that
Caramba, deu uma travada com
you,
isso.
only you can see, just to be rid of your
Que
nightmares?
loucura, deu uma travada absurda. Ai, será que ela sai agora do portão da ilusão?
Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I love.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
Ah, completou a missão.
It's done. You did it, but there's more.
É isso aí. Completou mais uma missão.
You're tired, but you
Aí na
have to
próxima eu
keep going.
termino mais
There's
uma
still
missão. Não sei até quando que vai
It's
ser
not
isso
going
aí.
to be easy.
E vamos nessa, né? Valeu aí, galera. Muito obrigado. E até a próxima videozinho.
It's too much. Have you
Valeu, obrigado, galera.
She hasn't got
Até
the
mais.
energy. No.
É nóis.